What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Man versus Gaming podcast. This is episode 5. I am your host, Man versus Rage, but you can call me Hugh. And we have a Borderlands packed podcast for you this week. Say that fucking fast 5 times, why don't you? So, before we get into any of that, just to let you guys know what I've been kind of doing this week. So, I've hopped back into Bloodborne and realized how much of a pain in the ass it was after beating Sekiro, which was also a pain in the ass. But I love those games. They could get to me, man. Like, I fought the blood-starved beast, man, and Jesus, dude, it was not fun. And it's just for cheap things like the poison that he puts on you, like, and like the kind of third phase of the fight. Because he has, like, he's normal, and then his attacks do, like, the poison damage, and then his body just emits the shit towards the end, and I just die at the end every time. Or he would get with that stupid grab move just out of nowhere. It was just annoying. But the game's fun, and I plan on playing it some more. I finally beat that boss with some help. But I think I might hop into Sekiro again eventually too. But I'm just kind of just hopping into stuff and playing it and trying to get more of a schedule going. For all the audio listeners, just so you know, you can come watch this live at every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I know we're doing it a little late today, but at dlive.tv/manversusrage. That is ManVersusRage. But alright, let's get into this. First, for the new game releases. Today, we have For the King for the PS4, Puyo Puyo Champions for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. We have For the King for the Switch. I don't know why they didn't just put that. Oh, because it comes out on May 9th on the Switch. That is why. You have Life is Strange 2, Episode 3, Wasteland for the PC, PS4, Xbox One on the May 9th. Yakuza Kiwami 2 on the PC, May 9th. For the King for the Xbox One on May 10th. I don't know why they did so many releases for this game. Mortal Kombat 11 for the Xbox One on May 10th. A Plague's Tale Innocent on PC, PS4, Xbox One on May 14th. And you also have Rage 2 on May 14th for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So, Rage 2 looks cool, like really cool. I'm very skeptical on buying things that I just don't absolutely love these days because I thought Days Gone looked awesome, and Days Gone turned out to be somewhat of a disaster, honestly, like really bad. So I'm so glad that I decided not to pick that up, honestly, because if I would have been upset, like really upset about buying that. Speaking of Mortal Kombat 11 looks cool. It looks like they really fleshed out the story and made it like really, really good this time. I'm almost tempted to pick it up and play it, but I'm gonna hold back on it because I'm not a big fan of fighting games. Like I think it was Marvel versus Capcom? Like it looked like they had a really good story in like their last one, but I just couldn't pick it up because it's a fighting game and I'm just not really into those. And another game that we listed on here, A Plague Tale Innocence. That game looks amazing and I really want to play it. And I probably will hop into that. Maybe not at launch, but I do plan on playing that game because it just absolutely looks stunning, dude. Like the art direction and just, I think it's like it's about the plague. And like I seen like a video where there was a scene where you had to light these torches like under this thing, to keep all these rats away, and it just looks terrifying and amazing at the same time. And I think it's going to be a pretty good game, though, whenever it comes out. So let's just go ahead and move into what we're going to talk about today. Splitgate Arena Warfare. What I've seen video on it, and I'm going to just say what I think about it. There are rumors of an Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, so a Viking-themed Assassin's Creed. Get into what I think about that as well, and just all of the Borderlands 3 stuff that has been happening. It is a very light week. This may not be a long podcast episode at all, and I apologize for that. We may have an extra episode coming out tomorrow. Very possible. Our good buddy Mike, if you've ever watched the stream, Pika Pika Pichu, he wanted to go over pretty much top, like a list of like a ranking list for battle royale games. And I think it'd be pretty fun to do. So if he actually comes through, because he is one not to do what he says he's going to do, then we'll be getting an extra episode out to you this week. So maybe that'll suffice for the lack of stuff to talk about today. But anyways, going in, Splitgate. See, I can't even talk today. Splitgate Arena Warfare. So I think it's like a 5v5 or 6v6 first-person shooter, and it's like the old, like, you know, Doom and Quake. You have this small arena, and you just have people going at it. The cool thing about this game is, not one, it looks amazing. It is graphically, it's really good looking. But the thing that's cool about this that sets it apart from all of these other games is it has a hint of Portal in there. So you're running around with your gun, say you see two people in front of you, you bang bang shoot them, and then you're just getting shot from the back. So what you could do is pretty cool. You can like pop a portal on the ceiling, turn around before they kill you if you can. Freaking pop a portal under them. They will fucking fall through the floor, through the ceiling, the way that you put the other portal, and you could turn around and shoot them. And you could just like mix it up. Like you see a guy across the map shooting at somebody, and there's a wall behind him. You can pop a portal into the wall, pop a portal into the wall behind him, pop a portal into the wall next to you, and then bam, you're right behind him, and you can kill him. And that seems so cool to me, to like, whoever does to fucking integrate this into a first-person shooter. You're a fucking genius. You are a genius, man. And you deserve credit for this. Like, I think it's an amazing idea. I plan on downloading it and playing it on stream soon, honestly, because it looks cool, dude. It really does. And I think everybody should at least go watch some videos on it and see if you like it. Especially if you like stuff like old school arena shooters. It just knocks it out the park, dude. I ain't even played it yet, and I can already tell it's fucking fun. So yeah, go check that out. Moving on, Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. So Assassin's Creed Ragnarok is this rumored a new Assassin's Creed game that's Viking themed. It's said to have a big emphasis like on, you know, like the old Viking ship battles and stuff. It just, okay, so just go into a little context. Like God of War, like I'm not a big fan of like Spartan stuff, which is why I didn't really like, you know, the last Assassin's Creed. What was it? It wasn't Origins. I don't even remember what it was called. I just was not into it at all. I just don't like the Spartan theme. It's just not my thing. But Viking, like when the new God of War come out, I gave it a shot just because it was Viking themed, and I fucking Viking mythology to me only comes next to Japanese mythology. And Viking in the Viking like setting in God of War was fucking amazing, dude. I absolutely enjoyed that game. It's probably my favorite game on the PlayStation 4. Hands down, my favorite game until maybe like The Last of Us 2 or Death Stranding or something like that may be able to knock it off the throne, but I don't think anything else will short of those games. God of War was amazing, and just to see that they're moving Assassin's Creed into, which I really enjoyed Origins. Egyptian theme isn't the best to me, but I think it's still pretty cool. But just Odyssey is what it was called. I just didn't like it, dude. It just was not my thing. I didn't play it, but I watched a lot of videos and tried to gauge if I would like it. And I just know that I wouldn't at all. But if they come up with a Viking theme and they have like, you're running around like in the snow with fur coats on these big ass Viking ships, dude, and you get in like, just that seems really, really cool to me, and I can't wait to see if it comes out. It is a rumor, it is speculation, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt whenever it comes to speculation. Whenever I say it is, take it with a grain of salt. It may never happen, but it looks very interesting. Well, sounds very interesting because there's no it's not being confirmed or anything. Sounds very interesting. I can't wait to see if anything comes from these rumors. Moving on, we'll actually get into another topic. I kind of want to talk about some new stuff came out about Anthem, and they're saying, because everybody thought they were kind of moving on from it because a lot of the people were like leaving to work on other stuff. But they say they're fully committed to trying to make the game better. It just, to me, I just want to talk about like this whole crunch topic in gaming right now, like in the gaming industry. I think it's crazy that they are pushing people to these lengths to get games done. They should, after the whole Anthem article came out, and it just kind of exposed kind of the lack of, I guess, management and leadership, I guess you would say, in making these games. And you just have, and I highly doubt it's just BioWare that's going through this. You hear about companies all the time that go through this, but this crunch, man, they work these people to death. And even with the new Sonic movie, how they say how the backlash of people are going to get them to change his character. Just think of the people, what is it? It can't be that long until this movie comes out if they're already putting the trailer out. Now they're talking about changing the whole design of a CG character. What is that going to do to the people that are actually, behind the scenes doing this? The fucking pressure has to be on these guys because it can't be that easy to do something like that. And then you have game studios where, some people just don't know what the hell they're doing. Because the lack of leadership, and people just, they don't care. It seems like the higher ups in the gaming industry just want money these days, and they don't really care what happens. Honestly, it's just sad. It's sad what happened to, and then the fact that every company thinks they could just ship an unfinished game these days just because they could put updates in a game. It's sad that we have came to a point where updates are the normal thing and an unfinished game is the normal thing for you to buy. You pay $60 for a beta test. How is that fair to your consumer? You know, it just doesn't seem right to me. They need to go in there and restructure how things are ran and what they're doing. They should be pushing studios to come out with finished games, but also treating their employees fair and not trying to put too much pressure on them. I think they need to find a balance of those. Like, I could understand if a game comes out and it has bugs. No game's going to be perfect ever whenever it comes out. There's always going to be bugs. There's always going to be stuff that needs fixed. But, like, I'm saying, like, to a point where it's unplayable sometimes, to where there are game-breaking bugs, like major bugs, like that stuff just shouldn't be there. And some of it you have to think maybe they are missing this because they are under so much pressure. Maybe they miss these things because they are ran through the mud so much that they just get tired and just overlook things. I just think the gaming industry in a whole, they need to be better about treating their employees right, but also making sure that these games are coming out decent and not a mess. Like I will refer back to Anthem and the whole process with that. That game was in pre-production for what, 5 or 6 years? It should have never made it to that point. Somebody from, at least from EA, God, I hate even saying that name at this point. Somebody from EA should have came down and said, well, what the hell are y'all doing? Kick it into gear? Like, it shouldn't have happened 5 or 6 years down the road. It should have happened at least like a year or two. And into the pre-production, they should have been like, you're not doing right. Get on it, because we need a game and y'all aren't doing anything. And then, like, even the higher ups at BioWare should have did the same thing, and they should have kicked it into gear. Because the lower guys, like, if they don't have nothing to work on, what are they going to work on if you're not telling them, hey, this is what we need? They can't just, like, you can't make something out of nothing, is what I'm saying. And they need to do a lot better with these things. But I'm just rambling at this point. So I guess we'll move on to Borderlands 3. Oh my freaking God, man. This has been 1 week for Borderlands, dude. So before we get into the good of Borderlands 3, let's get into the bad of Borderlands 3. So also, you know what, before we do that, we're going to move on to the Riot Games thing. So over at Riot Games, there's supposed to be somewhat of there are 4 sexual harassment lawsuits. They're attempting to muzzle 4 sexual harassment lawsuits through forced arbitration. Just a few months after taking a public stance against gender discrimination in the workplace. Really, Riot? So, for people who don't know what arbitration is, I believe it is say you worked for a company and you signed a clause that said you had to go through arbitration. Basically, from my knowledge of what that is, you and the company, well, I think it's actually the company that chooses the third party, so that's just already bullshit in my opinion. But you, the company, and a third party, a mutual third party, sit down and you pretty much both plead your case, and the third party chooses who's right and who's wrong. I think it's stupid. It shouldn't even be a thing to me. You should always be able to take cases to a court. If I get it, you signed the thing, but sexual harassment, like, this shouldn't be happening. This company has been around for a long time, dude. It shouldn't be happening, dude. People shouldn't have to deal with that kind of stuff in the workplace. And it just gives you a really bad look whenever you're trying to, like, putting this kind of stuff through arbitration. It's just giving you a bad look because it looks like you have something to hide, dude. I'm just going to put it out there the best way I know how. It looks like you're hiding something, man. And you just don't want it to get out. And that's like, if I owned a company and people were going through that shit and I knew it wasn't happening, or even if it was happening, some people would be getting their asses out the door, man. I would like to know, has anybody even been fired for this? Let's see. I'm going to read a statement from this. Let's see. Melina McCracken, who is the second plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against Riot Games, divulged the following information according to Kotaku. Quote, when McCracken complained to HR about her boss's response and gender-based discrimination at Riot, HR failed to keep the meeting confidential and leaked the information to her supervisor, McCracken. Supervisor. McCracken took a new position in 2015 as an office manager in the North American region. Her former supervisor, the complaint said, was promoted in a senior position there in 2016. Then the complaint says, compliant, I don't know how to say that word, says she was apparently giving a 5-month countdown to find a new position or be fired. That should not be happening ever. That is just wrong. And like, if you're a big wig at Riot Games, that fucking dude that she's talking about would be out the door. He should be out the fucking door if he's proven guilty, which is why I think it should go to the fucking law, like a courtroom. It shouldn't be this girl versus Riot Games. You should be like, he's going his ass in there, and if he fucking is guilty, he's fired. Actually, he should just be fired at this point, because I'm pretty sure this isn't the only complaint he's had on him if he's doing shit like that. And it's wrong to honestly, it's wrong to put somebody in that position to where, hey, find a new place or lose your job. I've been through that before, and it's not fun. It's not something you should do to people that are loyal employees. Now, I don't know this person's work ethic or like what's going on, but you should never be like, I don't really agree with like some like feminists that much. I think some of the stuff that they do can be way overboard, but I do agree you should never treat a woman differently in a place of work, especially these days. It's wrong. Like, they can do stuff just as good as we can. It's just my opinion, but they shouldn't. It's my opinion, but I think it's factual as well. I don't think people should be treated differently because of their race or sex or any of that. It's wrong and it's stupid. But we're gonna move on to Borderlands 3. So let's get into the bad. So this is the tweet that Game Informer put out. Despite Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford's comment about no microtransactions in Borderlands 3 during today's live stream, we've been told cosmetic items are still purchasable. That was what they put, and then they had their full article under that. Randy Pitchford decided he was going to come back. Come on, guys. Shitty clickbait headline. Literally seconds before I said that, I made it very clear we're going to do more cosmetic stuff like we did in Borderlands 2. You know, us talking about premium currency and loot boxes kind of stuff not being in our game. Why you guys sput beyond this is beyond me. Thanks a lot. I think that it is absolutely like, okay, so it's bad that he's defending himself. Okay, so what I've heard that he said specifically was they would have no free to play microtransactions. And basically what he's meaning is they're not going to have like loot boxes and premium currency that you have to buy outside of the game to get cosmetics in the game and stuff like that. You'll be able to buy these skins essentially for your character and stuff like that for a base price, and that's it. But him defending and saying, now I like the fact that he's passionate. He seems very passionate about this game. And that's good. That's good to be behind your game. I have no problem with that at all. Like, if you want to be behind your game, like that you spend all this hard time working on and making, that is great. But you should have, I think he should have just been more clear. He should have been like, we're going to have price-based microtransactions, like cosmetic microtransactions that you could pay a base price for, but we will not be doing free-to-play microtransactions. Because essentially he's kind of stating that these aren't microtransactions, and they are. They are microtransactions. You're paying a sum of money for something in a game. Now, it's not game breaking or anything or pay to win, but it's still for something in the game that you're paying other than the base game. I would even go on record and say that I even think DLC is somewhat that, but that's another topic for another day. But if you're paying for like a skin with money, like real money, that's a microtransaction, Randy. I'm sorry. Like, I applaud your passion for your game, but it just is what it is, man. And that's what that is. So moving on, another thing that came out was Claptrap has a new voice actor. Somebody tweeted David Eddings and said, "Are you still Claptrap in BL3? Question mark." And he said, "No, for the first time I insisted on getting paid for my performance, and all of a sudden they couldn't afford me. I'm not telling them how to run their business, but maybe next time they should put the 12 million payment from 2K in Gearbox bank account instead. Just saying." So, here's a statement from Randy Pitchford, and he says Mr. Eddings was paid very handsomely during his employment. After his employment, he was made a relatively generous offer to reprise the role. Unfortunately, he turned that opportunity down. So we kind of have two different stories here. I mean, Eddings is saying, you know, they never paid me at all. And Brandy is saying they did pay him. And he just, this new offer, he just felt like he wasn't getting paid enough. And it's really one of those said versus she said type of situations where we never will know really what happened, honestly. As there was proof put out there, like a Gearbox decided to say if it got to a point where it's taking the law or something, they put the evidence out there of this is what we paid them, we have proof, then we would know. But at this point, we really don't know. I've heard all kinds of different rumors about this, to the fact that David Eddings was like working there at the time, and he did do the stuff for free, and then when he left, they were just He didn't want to do it for free, and he wanted too much and stuff like that. And we never know. We'll never know. It's pure speculation what actually happened, but just figured it's a very interesting thing to throw out there. You decide. You guys decide who you think's right and who's wrong. Let me know. Let me know. Comments. Watching you. Anyways, so let's move on to the actual Borderlands 3 gameplay live stream. Oh my god. So there's so much to like go over from this thing. So they come out and they're like, this isn't an actual screenshot from the game. This is the game. And then the character starts moving. Claptrap is... he's annoying, but funny. At the same time, he's how Claptrap has always been, honestly. You know, they move on to the skin thing and show off the skins. You have emotes this time, which is pretty cool. It does like the Windows 98 error screen. Just the best thing ever. Moving forward on into like, they have new movement mechanics that just makes it seem just new and fresh. Like you can slide now, you can vault now, you can mantle stuff. Like it just makes it feel really good. It looks very smooth, a lot smoother than the other games, and I really think it's going to play a big part. Just the gunplay. Like I have to just move forward to the gunplay because I thought like just mantling and sliding and the gunplay looks smoother. Enemies look a little smarter. Just the UI looks 10 times better. They did a really good job sharpening this game up. It freaking looks amazing. The guns look like, it looks a lot more forgiving, I'd say, because I've played Borderlands 2 recently, and you die a lot. Not really die, but you go down and you have to fight for your life or whatever. When you kill somebody, you get a second win, but it happens a lot, and it didn't seem to happen as much on this. So you go through, some of the cool things I seen was like, okay, you have like cover, like these cover places that you could duck down behind, but bullets actually destroy them now. So you can't just hide behind cover, and the enemies actively seek this cover as well. So, you know, they're a little bit smarter too. And for anyone who's ever played, the other Borderlands games, like they have the elemental barrels around the world, and now you could just walk up to these barrels, melee them, they'll go flying. They'll go flying, and then you can shoot them. Like you can melee it towards some enemies and then shoot the barrel, and then bang, all those enemies are hit with that element. It's freaking cool. Also, something that was really cool, they're like vents, I believe. You can shoot them and they'll spray out oil, and you could actually set the oil on fire. And just stuff like that is cool that they're putting in. They actually had, which I think that happened. Okay, they moved on to a boss fight, I believe. Like the first boss fight in the game, against a guy named Shank, I believe. He had like this big arm, and then his other arm was like little, like super fucking little, dude. And he had like a screwdriver. And they fight him, and it's a pretty neat little, it was a little fight. It wasn't that long. He drops weapons. They kind of took a shot at, I think, Anthem at that point, because they were like, whenever you beat a boss, we want it to feel good to you, so you can pick up your loot and equip it right then and there. And then they go outside and they help Claptrap, who was stuck to a magnetic thing. And it's pretty cool. They actually showed off that now NPCs you will have to revive them if they go down. They can actually go down now. And if you go down, they can revive you as well. And I think that's pretty cool that they added that into it as well. And then they kind of jump forward to a part later in the game where you go to a new planet, because Pandora is not the only planet now. So God, I'm so excited thinking about the possibilities, dude. But they go to a new planet. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a large futuristic city, and you're fighting your way through there. They have all the guns have like different. Well, most of the guns. I don't think all of them do, but a lot of the guns have different fire modes now, so they can have 2 different fire modes. Like they had this pistol where it had like a dart. Shot the dart at an enemy, and when it hit the enemy, you switch back to the was more like a machine gun, I think, like a machine gun pistol or something like that. When you switch back to the fire mode, it would just fire shots into the air, and they would just arc into the enemy. So no matter what direction, the bullets would go to the enemy. So if you hit them, they duck behind cover. You could kind of shoot to the right or left of that cover, and it will arc around and still hit the enemy, and stuff like that is just really cool. But they move forward through the gameplay, and they get to a point. They get to a chest. And there are weapons in this chest. And the person that's playing is level 5. Keep this in mind. So all the weapons in the chest are level 5. But then they're like, well, we're going to bring in a co-op, buddy. We'll see how this works. So they bring in Zane. I can't remember what the other person's name. Yeah, I'm not even going to butcher her name. They bring the second player in. He's level 25. And if you've ever played a Borderlands game before, that just would not work at all. All the enemies would go up to level 25, and that level 5 person would be fucked. 100%. Like screwed. So they bring him in. He's level 25. So at first they show... I want to say her name is... I don't remember. And like I said, I want to butcher her name. But to show her looking at the loot, and it's level 5. And then he just pops in and he loads up to the loot box, and the guns are 25. Not only are the guns 25, and for her they're level 5, but they have their individually own guns. So instance loot is a thing, and it looks awesome. And thank God, because I'm tired of playing with Mike and him taking all the guns. He does that so much. And for the fact, just the fact that they have that in there, it's cool, man. And it seems like they're moving, and they're not just moving, they're flying in the right direction with this game. So they pick up their guns, equip what they want to. They move in, and oh my God, dude. The thing that's cool, they finally get to some enemies. On Zane's screen, the enemies are level 25, but on her screen, the enemies are level 5. So they kind of balance the weapon damages of the gun based to level. So now, if I'm level 30 and I want to join you, and you're level 3, I can still play with you, and we can still both have fun, because you're not going to be dying, and I'm not going to be mowing through enemies. And that's awesome, dude. And I'm so glad that they did this. It's going to make the game just 10 times better. Now, for everybody that loved the old way, you can cut that off. You do not have to play this way at all. You could turn off instance loot. You could fight for guns. You could turn off weapon scaling to where if you level 3 joins, you want them to get massacred, go for it. You could do that too, which is what makes this even better. Is you could play the old way, or you can play the new way. You can play however you want to, and I think that's awesome. So moving on, they get to chess. They kind of put dude, don't get me lying about weapons, because I don't know much about Borderlands weapons. I technically played Borderlands a long time ago, somewhat. I think it's a fun game, but Borderlands 3 just has pulled me in more than the other ones could, honestly, just being honest. I'm going back and playing 2, and I'll play the pre-sequel just to beat them, but I think Borderlands 3 is gonna blow those 2 games out of the park, in my honest opinion. But they have these guns, and I remember them from 2, because when you would throw these guns, they would fucking like, how you reloaded them is you would throw them, they would blow up. Now in this game, it's cool, even more cool, because you have, like, you throw one, it turns into an electrical ball and bounces off the walls, and every enemy that freaking hits gets damaged. And throw one and it has legs, and it runs through shooting at people. It's just ridiculous and crazy, but awesome at the same time, dude. Like, I seen somebody got a legendary, because they allowed streamers to play after the event for a while. Guy got a legendary, and you literally throw it whenever you reload, and it turns into a walking, like a brain with spider legs, walking around shooting like beams at people. And they had like a freaking rocket launcher that shot hamburgers. Like, it's so wacky but so cool at the same time, and I just can't wait, dude. Like I said, the instance loot and just the fact that you could play with people. Another cool thing is, for anybody that played 2, I don't think there was 1 in 1, was there? Maybe? There's this thing called Sanctuary in 2. It's been too long since I played 1 to remember. But in 2, there's a place called Sanctuary. Now in 3, it is a ship, like an actual spaceship. So you go up there. Something that's cool is each character actually has their own room in the ship that you can actually somewhat decorate. Like, if you have a gun, say you can't use it anymore, but it's very like special to you, you can hang it up on your wall in your room. And I'm pretty sure they have like trophies and stuff like that you could probably put in there as well. It's had all the old characters there, like Moxie and Ellie and stuff like that. They still have the vending machine at Moxie's bar. Just be careful not to get blew up by the grenades. The thing I found really cool is, say in the world you had a legendary shotgun fall off an enemy, and y'all were right next to a cliff, and fucking shotgun just went, fuck you, I'm out, and fell off the cliff. Borderlands 1 and 2, buy a shotgun, you're never going to see it. But in 3, whenever you go to the ship, they actually have a machine that collects all of your lost items and dispenses them to you from it onto the ground. So you're never going to lose weapons anymore. And that's freaking awesome too. Now, the cool thing about the ship is you go to it and it allows you to fly to the new planets. And it's not like a loading screen or anything. You actually go into hyperdrive and fly to these planets and have to get into a drop pod and drop down. That in itself is amazing too. I can't express how cool I think this game looks, honestly. Just want to kind of talk about the last boss fight that they showed. They showed 2 boss fights, the one with Shank and then the one with this guy. He had like a shield, like a riot shield. I cannot remember what his name was, for the love of God. He drops down. He has like, but he controls like sound waves. So there's kind of like there's mechanics to this fight. Like, you have to stay away from like speakers. And he has like AoEs to come out of speakers and hurt you. And it looks cool, dude. It's fun to see that they actually, instead of them being so bullet spongy, they actually have mechanics to them now. I think that's really cool. The two characters they showed off, for the love of God, I can't remember the girl's name, and I've been trying to think of it this whole time, but her and Zane, so she's the siren. So the cool thing is you have 3 abilities out of the gate now instead of 1. So you can pick from any of your trees at the beginning. Now hers, I believe she had like a ground pound where she, like kind of like a Titan Slam in Destiny for anyone who's ever played that. She jumps in the air, she summons like all these fucking psionic arms and then slams into the ground. She has like an arm that like comes out of the ground and puts an enemy in a bubble. That way they're stuck there for a little while. And I can't remember what the third one was. Zane, he could summon a double of himself that could run around. And what's cool is you could actually teleport, like switch between you and the double, which was really cool. I believe he had like a kind of like a shield he could throw down. And then kind of like this little robotic bird that came out and did something. I don't really remember. But the characters look cool. It's cool to see like after they beat the sound wave shield guy, he actually dropped like a sound wave pistol. So boss drops are a thing in this game. So go farm those bosses to get the guns you want. And I'm just excited, dude. I've read things about they plan on, not only are they going to have 4 paid DLCs, but they plan on releasing like end game stuff after the game comes out, like raid type content and just more bosses to go farm for weapons, like special weapons. In a whole, I think this could be my favorite game of the year if it comes out, it does right. Because anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big looter shooter guy. Like big looter shooter. Destiny 2 has fucking broken my heart, dude. Because I love it so much. Forsaken came out. It did so good. It was so good to me, Forsaken, man. And these DLCs they've been putting out just aren't for me. And I just hope this comes out and just knocks it out of the park, dude. As it seems that it will. But if you want to go check out some Borderlands 3, go do it. There's plenty of stuff out there. Just look it up on YouTube. There's people posting new videos on it every day. Still putting out new videos. Go check it out. It looks amazing. But I think that's where we're going to wrap up the podcast, guys. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. And if you do, make sure to share it with somebody. That's what I would like. Share it with somebody and see if you can get them into it too. Like I said earlier, if you want to come hang out while we do it live, we do this over at dlive.tv/ManVersusRage. That's ManVersusRage. And we do it every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I hope all of you enjoyed the podcast episode. We might be hitting you with an extra one this week, depending, like I said at the beginning. I hope all of you have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.